Right, hello, and welcome to Warhammer 2 Total War Part 5 of my Kislev campaign. It's not really a test stream at this point. I think it's actually just regular streaming. I've had enough tests, and I'm happy with how it's been going. For the most part, there's been some loss of frames due to rendering or encoding lag because of, my computer can't handle the larger battles. Speaking of which, I might actually fiddle with the graphics a little bit more. What did I want to lower? Building detail. Yeah, let's put them on high. Because there's a big problem seem to be in. Don't really want to lower the terrain detail, because we spend a lot of time looking at the terrain. It's all covering all the ground, funnily enough. Unit detail, hot ultra, because we want the units to look nice, even if they're small. Everything else I can do with being a bit lower. And I'm not a stickler for anti-aliasing. Seems like I missed Dungeon Keeper. Yes, we just had it before. Unfortunately. It will be loaded on my YouTube channel if you wish to watch it later, though. Right, well, we'll continue our Kislev campaign. I can't actually remember what we were doing last time. Protecting our borders, that's a given. I think the Norscan tribes were uniting under the Wintertooth. We had taken Hellpit, and we had renamed the Great Shrine of Ursun in honor of Ursun. I can't roll the R's, so Ursun. I don't want to try. Just sound dumb. Ursun, the great bear god, deity of Kislev, and I think Fort Jakova got taken, or got destroyed, because of beastmen, who were sitting next to it, looking at it for like 2 or 3 turns, and then one turn they were just like, you know what, we hate it, and they decided to raise it. I think I'm moving an army down there to deal with them, or to reinforce and then deal with them. They were actually in a pretty good position, that considered. Even those two things, because we, as I said, got rid of Skaven, got rid of Hellpit, not Skaven Blight, nowhere near us. So, we're not having to deal with Skaven. The Empire haven't turned on us, and the vampire counts haven't appeared from Sylvania to cause problems yet. So yeah. At the moment, it's just looking like we're going to be fighting Norsca, which is... I don't know how I feel about that. Norsca as an army are... They're lightly armoured, for the most part. And they sort of focus on fast-moving troops with little range, but they're tough. And when they get stuck into combat, they just get better. So, and they have the mammoths, which are a very big problem. They also get, as I've said before, Fimir, Cyclopean swamp dwellers, ice trolls, which we have seen a bit of. They also have an ice drake, or something similar to that. I think it's called an ice drake, which is a dragon, which looks the same as the Chaos Dragon, or Golroch. You want to be specific. The Golroch, the name of a dragon which was corrupted by Chaos, and his head split in 2. Now he has 2 heads. They actually use the model of Golroch for the Chaos Dragon, and also for the Ice Dragon, or Ice Drake. Do they have anything else? They have the Feral Mammoth, the War Mammoth, and the War Altar Mammoth. They have a Norscan Giant. That's also something else they have. Skin Wolves and Armoured Skin Wolves. I can't forget those. Armoured Skin Wolves are a pain because they're fast-moving, anti-large, and armoured ones are even worse because they've got armour on. Oh boy. Cavalry, we're all the horsemen, they're not that big of a problem. Even you know, marauder, well, horseman masters or whatever they're called. Yeah. Chariots, they're kind of a big deal. They're more of an issue if you've got a lot of other things to deal with, because they end up just running through all your squads, but I feel like on their own they don't really do that much damage. They're more of a disruption thing. For the Norscans. Unlike, say, Tomb Kings, who specialize in chariots, they actually have squads of like 6 or 7 of them. And they're light, so they move faster. And they can get very good impact hits off them. Not as good as chariots in Rome Total War. Oh, the fun had with chariots in Rome Total War. I recommend playing as Egypt in that if you haven't, because running down armies of peasants or lightly armored infantry with chariots is so fun. The chariots die really quickly, so you have to charge them in and out of combat. And they can't afford to get bogged down, but when they hit, they deal so much damage, and they break the enemy so quickly that it's just... You're not hitting unified squads, you're hitting fleeing units, for the most part, so you just run them all down. And it just causes a cascade of fleeing, because, oh my god, you just hit that squad and you killed half of them. Massive morale loss for everyone else nearby. They all break and flee, and then you just charge them down with more chariots. That works with the heavy cavalry, or cavalry in Rome Total War as well. I should do a stream of that sometime. I haven't played it ages though. Anyway, here we are. So yes, we can see Fort Jakova here. These beastmen managed to raise it pretty easily, honestly. It didn't have any defenses. It's just a bunch of Ungors, Chaos Warhounds, a Cygor, which is a large one-eyed monster. Think a Cyclops, except it's got horns and hooves, and it throws boulders. It's kind of a ranged artillery unit. It's sort of supposed to be anti-mage, because it's got this Soul Eater ability, which increases miscast chance for wizards, but they're nasty at range because their boulders are like catapult stones. Anyway.
Yes, my lord.
We also have our lord up here, who got a level. Rank 5. What are we going to give Zakhar Pashan? He can't get Barded Walls, but I don't think I'd give him that because that will make him slower and he won't be able to keep up with the archers. He can't get Hold the Line yet? Level 6. That's odd. Usually Hold the Line's up here. Sure. We'll get Marksmen to improve our Ungol archers. Which are these guys. Or Ungol horse archers. He's also got my winged lancers, which I took from Katarin when we were sieging what was previously Hell Pit, so that they wouldn't die in the auto resolve. Because they fought the Skaven fought a, what's it called? They sallied forth from their settlement, and we beat them on the field, and then the remnants retreated back into Hell Pit, and they were so minuscule that I auto-resolved the battle, rather than play it by hand, because... Suppose maybe I should have done that to show off the settlement. Whatever. Sadly, the mod with unique settlement-like maps has not been updated yet, from what I understand. So we don't actually have, like, fan-made maps in this. 'Tis a pity. We'll survive. Right. I would like to upgrade you. I would like some Griffin Legions. But I don't have enough money. You're reinforcing, you're getting Gospodar, Axeman, and Droyaska. Do I want Droyaska? Just a single squad of Droyaska, it's not really that useful. I know it was like 2 turns into recruiting it, but... just get those next turn. Or should... I'm keeping you there until the corruption goes down low enough to be able to be maintained by the buildings we've built in there to maintain public order. You can get the barracks with the money now. Yes, because I want the Boya heroes. And... okay, will you be able to deal with those beastmen? Gospodar Spearmen, Axemen, Spearmen, and Crossbowmen. Maybe. You could do with some cavalry, which I think you can pick up in Kislev on the way past. To deal with the Cygor, just to chase it and fill it full of arrows. Did update it. I should put I should put the 2 there. In Warhammer 2, Total War. So people know that it's the sequel. Not the original one. I haven't played the original one since the sequel came out. There's no reason to. One's just... first one and more. Is anything going to happen? Are the Norscans going to raid my dwarven friends? Am I going to have to try and defend them again? And the dwarves are going to get upset because I'm tromping through their territories because they won't give me military access? Or are the Norscans actually going to attack me? Am I going to get sieged by Throg the Troll King? He's going to tell me about how he eats his enemies and he does the trolling. Wonder if they added any new rebel armies. I don't really remember the Black Spider tribe. To the victors, the spoils. Ah, we failed it. We didn't raid Winterspire. But that's because it's... where's Winterspire? Up there. I'm not going to deal with that. Severe on Katarin. Public order +2. That's nice. Military presence is 18. We're not taxing the province. Corruption's still -14, plus provincial instability is -6. So that will eventually get to a point where we can contain it on its own without having an army stationed there. Tower of Crack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Norscan trolls. That used to be called the Pillar of Gold. You can see there's a Pillar of Gold there. That's actually a location for a quest done by one of the heroes. I believe it is Prince Sigvald the Magnificent, a Chaos Lord, legendary lord, who is very, very, what's it called? Magnificent. And very full of himself. And other people. The Ungol archers. You can go and exterminate those beastmen. They've got some increasing corruption here. Blah. Whenever the beastmen raise a settlement, they like they have two ways they can raise a settlement. They can either like sack it and raise, which they take money from, or they can sacrifice and raise, or something like that, which doesn't get you any money, but it increases your horde growth, I think, and like increases chaos corruption in the area very high for a few turns or for a turn. I think I can't remember. I played Beastmen not too long ago, but anyway, do I want to build this here? I require a blacksmith. You got 11 turns until enough population growth for that. That's our research for the moment. Mass produced small ammunition. Fine. If I get that, growth goes up by 2. Oh boy. It's only 870, so we will get it. Not much to do, it's just building up settlements at the moment. Hoping that armies don't pop out of nowhere and start attacking me. I mean, we own a lot of territory, or our territories are very large, so beastmen could pop up somewhere. The last patch also changed things about vision. You may see this dark location here. Even though this is our territory, we cannot see there. It used to be that if you owned the region, you could see the entire region. Now it's you sort of have a view around settlements and too far away and you can't see there. So we've got a population surplus in Hill Pit. That's probably just it gaining like 1 growth. I think we'll need at least like 4 or 5 to get up to rank 4 of the building there, the settlement there. If the dwarves were inclined to do so, it might have been good to get them to get Hell Pit, because they could have used it better than I could, maybe.
I can see your life draining away before my very eyes.
Yes. Military access. You're not at war with the Empire. And you do have a border with me. What's your feeling about the other Empire factions? They like Ostland. They like Ostermark. They like Ostermark. They like the Empire. The Empire is sort of confederating everyone at the moment, so... What's your angle? I don't know. What else are you open for? Maybe defensive alliance and military alliance. I don't think I'd go so far as a military alliance. Sure. Sure. They're not having a civil war at the moment, so... And military access won't drag me into a battle. The thing is, it's like... The more agreements you have with someone, the more points of discontent their enemies will have against you, because it's like you have multiple agreements with them. Oh, hello. Oh! A treaty to enshrine our alliance and consider it a great honor, no doubt. Finally, you're offering me military alliance, military access, and maybe defensive alliance. I don't think I'll push it. I will just accept military access. Thank you, dwarves. I was trying to get that a number of turns ago, but I had to march through your territory and upset you. I had to give you a gift to offset it, at least slightly. It would have been good if you had given me that when you're actually being attacked. I think you might be being attacked right now, which might be why you gave me that. Because you're like, hey, could you come and help me with this? No, they've still got shore trucking. You really should deal with that. Am I gonna have to raise it and let you take it back yourself? At 10. 10. What things have we got which can increase public order? Untainted -2, +2 faction wide. No, that's nothing. Don't know what this is. Do we actually get to Do we actually get the potential to, like, confederate the Empire? I don't think so. Because we're not the Empire, we're Kislev. So. If we took Altdorf, I think would we be able to, like, claim Empire? Claim the Emperorship of the Empire? Let's go down here. And can we find those beastmen? No. Hey Boris, can you get anything? Nope. Talismans? Nope. Armor? Nope. Your daughter's hogging all the items. I think it's his daughter. Tsar Boris Borka.
Can I offer assistance?
Tsarina. That in mind puts her as his wife, but I don't think she is. I could be wrong on that. I want walls there. And
Who calls?
is Tower Crack unprotected? I mean, it's got a garrison of 8.
I will marshal the
We have 11. It's sack it for 4,000. With all of our cavalry. We're anti-large. No, you're anti-infantry. You're anti-large. But they're just trolls. Trolls aren't that big of a threat. What am I talking about? I mean, sure, trolls could smack my units around, but and it's saying they have a slight chance in my favor, but that's just because I have so little infantry. I think most of it is cavalry, which I don't think the game properly like considers how effective cavalry can be. Though, limited ammunition could be a problem. I'm gonna have to carefully choose my targets. Don't shoot the marauders with shields. So, not these guys, or these guys. This is a prime target. The marauder hunters, they have throwing axes. The marauder spearmen are prime targets, because they have two-handed weapons, so they don't have a shield. So do the marauders and great weapons, and also the Norscan ice trolls. Because they are large targets. So it might be better for them to get attacked by my spears. Stig Slaughterborg. Some say he is a slaughterer of Borg. Others say he is a slaughterer of the Empire. All we know is that he's called the Stig. And we're having a battle at the Golden Monolith. That's what it's called. Well, damn, if he's Slaughter Borg, why isn't he on Star Trek? And we can't actually see the, what's it called? The gold, monument or whatever it's called. Here. Okay. You go over there. You go over there. Winged Lancers go there. You go... Go like this. You're on a horse. You can go there. Is there a spot I could put you which would be effective in some way? Over here, perhaps? After all that positioning. Maybe I can march you up to there and protect you by this rock or something like that. Well, there's a rock there, so... That might be good to have my back to. Because that will mean they won't be able to attack me as easily from that direction. Yes. There. there, and there. And you want skirmish, you want skirmish, you can't go on skirmish, so you'll go over here. Go. Aim you like that. You go there. You go over there. You wheel around over to there. What's that? They're marauders. Don't shoot them. Okay, they're the marauder hunters. Don't go off group lock, because that messes up your targeting. They'll target like multiple squads instead of a specific one. Shoot the trolls. Even though they regenerate, we might be able to take one of them out. It's kind of a waste of ammunition, but... There's the marauder spearman. Oh, the trolls are charging me. Come on. Get away from them. Get away. Are you fleeing? Yeah, you are. Okay, go over there. You're marauders, so charge you. Charge! Bam! You've been caught. You got caught by the trolls? How'd you get caught by the trolls? You're faster than them. I mean, I took you off skirmish mode, but... Okay. We're gonna have to deal with these guys quickly. They're broken. Charge up there. Go. Oh, get away from them. The marauder hunters are shooting at you now. We have successfully distracted a number of the enemy units. If we can stop them from shooting us all at once, then, you know, divide and conquer. Glorious charge! Yeah! I think there's a bit of a bug with the general's shield. Go over here. Wheel around and charge into the rear of them. Yeah! Bam! Very, very good. Retreat. Charge over there. Wham! Now, I want those spears to go over there. We're gonna have to deal with the spears somehow. How are you going? You're actually not shooting. Because I had turned you off shoot. Okay. You lot. Stop shooting. Stop. What's it called? Skirmish moding. Charge up this way. You know, just leave them behind. They're slow. Shoot them. Oh, they're coming back. They think they're getting... They think... They're going to get an easy kill with my spearmen. Nope. Bam! Right. Shoot them in the back. No mercy for the Norscans. They won't show us any. Right, they've stopped. Shoot those spearmen. Charge them down. Look at those winged lancers. Jeez, they're doing killing and they haven't lost a single of their number. Okay. Oh yeah, you're dealing with them. They've shattered. Okay, forget about them. Get off skirmish mode. You'll be able to just shoot them to pieces. There we go. And there. Go that way. Oh, hello. Oh, you're back. Shoot them a bit. They don't have shields. No, what is this? They're just sitting there, taking all of my arrows. Okay, glorious charge. From all sides! I should break them. Yep. Get off. Go back here. Spearman, move up. See if you can attract the attention of those trolls. They're all caught on those guys. Come on, keep moving. Oh, they're caught on themselves too. They sort of clump up a bit. Hey, spears, charge the trolls. Go on, skirmish mode. Oh, oh, looks like they're fleeing. Yeah, we've broken them. Okay. Hey, they've shattered. No more problem. Who was arrested them? Well done, Spearman. You held on admirably. I lost a few of my Ungol horse archers because skirmish mode on and off and getting caught by trolls, but just chase them down. Stop shooting them. You can do more damage in melee to them, I believe. Oh, they fled. Bah. Oh well. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. This is only a garrison. So, chase you lot down. Go on, fan out. These Kislevs, Kislevians, Kislevites, that's it, Kislevites, running around friggin' tundras with no shirt on. They're still fresh. You're very tired.
The Empire endures.
Why? Yes, you're not holding onto your sword and shield properly. Unless you've got telepathy. Yeah, telepathy? Yeah, you can just make it float in front of you. Oh, he's got the animation for holding onto a two-handed sword. But he's oh, I see. He's supposed to be holding it like that. They just float off. They just float off when he's moving. Okay, that's fine. Decisive victory! Yeah, game. Decisive. We only lost 109. Most of them were my spearmen. Some of my horse archers. 232 kills on the winged lancers. 9 for my general. He did pretty good. That guy got 11 kills. The general. From what? Did he charge spearmen? the point? No, he didn't. He must have killed my horsemen when I charged them. I mean, they're still the champions, even if they're not spearmen. They're still tough. Didn't kill too many of the trolls. Ah well. No big problem. They were busy chasing my cavalry. They weren't able to hit my lines. Which is fine. Don't know why they're chasing my archers. My horse archers. Their horse archers are faster than the trolls. Though they did catch my horse archers, so... Shush! Forget that happened. It didn't happen. I don't know what you're talking about. Trolls catching horses? Ludicrous. What is this? Actually, rather happy with that. 2 of their units didn't get any kills at all. Dealt with so decisively. Ugh. And there we go. How much do we get from that? 357? It's not much. The other Trickster's Shard. Ooh, we got a rare item from it. Constant around self, minus 22% magic resistance. That might be good to give to Katarine. Because that will make her magic more powerful. Our general stands upon his horse, T-posing at the enemy. Sack it. I want that money. Want that money.
Raise Sigma.
Here we go.
Step to it.
And you're out of the swamps. Yeah. Look at him. So majestic. So ridiculous. I got a loot box. Better, I don't even have to pay for it. But yes, we got 4,000 gold from that. That was a nice raid. And we raid the raiders back. Poetic irony. Or vengeance. Both.
What does the
We could get ambushed by the beastmen.
I will marshal the men.
I feel pretty confident in my ability to hold them off. They're only Ungors, and Ungors are worse than my troops. They're certainly morale-wise worse than my troops. I do have a mod which adds a number of new units to the beastmen. We haven't seen any of those units yet, though. But it also gives them some new abilities, or passive abilities. All the beastmen have... It's like a hatred ability, which they don't have in the base game, which gives them slightly higher melee attack while they're fighting. Because in tabletop, they had an ability where they hated certain enemies. Pretty much everyone, so they always got a slight bonus to attack certain enemies.
Lady of the Glade, at your service.
I was explaining it 2 ways there. I can't remember whether it was against all enemies, or whether it was against specific enemies, but... Like, lore-wise, beastmen pretty much disdain everyone. But for gameplay purposes, it might have just been limited to specific enemies. Zavastra seems like it's seen better days. Yeah, they've got gribbly stuff going on. Chaos corruption. There's all this burnt land here and these giant spikes coming out of the ground. This lava here. This is what chaos does. Don't worship chaos, folks, otherwise this will happen to your house. It's actually cleared up around our other settlements. It's around Kislev still. And slightly around Fort Jakova because of the beastmen raising it. But all of our other territories are rather verdant and green. There's still chaos, Skaven corruption here, so we have these little holes in the ground. These warpstone deposits. These meteorites on the ground. But all this is all chaos corrupted. So there's lava everywhere and the ground's all cracked and burnt. Though I do kind of think it should look different because this is just snowy. Any reason why I did not occupy the tower? Oh, the Tower of Crack? Seems like it's a strategic position. That is true. The main reason why I didn't is... Well, the main reason is because I wanted the money. 4,000 gold was pretty good. The second reason is because it's uninhabitable climate. Now, it is possible and doable to inhabit regions which are uninhabitable. It's not impossible. However, it requires a fair bit of do. You can see the negatives which I get there. Plus 50% for all building cost. Construction time 100% for all buildings. Recruitment duration +1. Income from all buildings is -50%. Public order is -3. Growth is -7. It will take longer for it to build up. It will take longer for buildings to be constructed. It will cost more. And I'll be getting less money for the settlement. So I could hold it. It wouldn't really be that strong for quite a few turns. And that's time the enemy could come and attack me. So... I mean, there is a strategic position here anyway. There's a bridge here, and there's a river running along. So, if the enemy do come from here, I can hold at the bridge. Though there is swampland around here. Not there, but just over here there's swamp, which causes attrition. So, anyway, if I ever try and take over Norscan, it's all uninhabitable for me. Just because it's chaos. It's, I think it's chaos wastes, which is just like, it's so corrupted by chaos that bad things happen. Mutations, cultists attacking you all over the place, the land itself attacking you. Unexplainable things happen, so it's not very popular. I assume I could not occupy it and then give it to the dwarves? No, you can't gift settlements in Warhammer 2 Total War. Well, modifying my answer for that for the last patch, for the most part, you can't take settlements and gift them to another faction. However, in the last patch, if you play as the Empire and say... Or if you play as one of the Empire factions, and say, you as the Empire take Kappelberg here, because it's been taken over by Greenskins, and now the Empire owns it. You can gift it back to Talabheim, and say, hey, this is your village, you have it back. So, I assume the dwarves would have less penalty since it's mountains and stuff. The dwarves do have pleasant climate for living in mountains. This area here is mountains. This here is actually frozen wastes, I think. This one, sure truckin'. These, however, are chaos wastes, and I think... I don't know whether that's uninhabitable for dwarves, or whether that's unpleasant for dwarves. Dwarves are resistant to chaos corruption. It might be unpleasant for Krakadrak specifically. I don't think it's pleasant for them to live in, because while it looks like mountains, this is actually chaos wastes. I agree, it would make more sense for it to be mountains, because it is mountains. This is more chaos wastes up here. And this is not inhabitable, this land here. This is just This is just hell. It causes attrition. It's a bad place. We don't go there. Chaos Wastes, it's called. Whereas this is more sort of frozen tundras. It's heavily corrupted by chaos, but it's not necessarily Chaos Wastes. But it would make sense if it was mountains and like tundra in here, but it's Chaos Wastes, it's not mountains. So Norscan can live there just fine, but I can't. If the dwarves got that land, then I have a buffer between you and the Norse. Yeah. If I could gift it to them, I would. It would help the dwarves expand. They're kind of slow at expanding, if you haven't noticed. I haven't taken the settlement back yet. Come on, dwarves, get on that. But once the dwarves get rolling, at least the ones down here, once they get going, they just roll over everything, because they have really tough armies of heavily armored infantry, backed up by cannons and guns and aircraft. Not what I want. Can I ally them and call them into a war and then let them occupy it? If I allied with them, like a military alliance, or maybe a defensive alliance, a military alliance would be easier. If I went military alliance with them, and then I went to war with Wintertooth, if I wasn't already, I could possibly get Crackerdrack to join me in that war. I could then click on their armies, and some icons down here would show up, and I could say, hey, I want this army to attack this settlement. And they would try, possibly, to go and attack that settlement. They might not capture it. They might not attack it. If I have them backing me up during a battle, if I initiate the battle, I will have the option of what to do with the settlement. They have to siege the settlement themselves to get the option to what they want to do. I can't gift it to them if they take part in the battle. So. I cannot reinforce the battle. I can. If I have a military alliance with them, with someone, I can reinforce battles they are involved in. Or they can reinforce me in battles if they are nearby. However, it's only a military alliance. Maybe a defensive alliance? I'm not too sure. But anyway. Seems somewhat restricting. The game's not the most in-depth when it comes to diplomatic actions like that. There's stuff present, and I have had battles where I've been, say, the Empire with Dwarven allies fighting against Greenskins. It doesn't happen often, but it can happen. And I have also helped allies of mine attacking settlements if I'm nearby and they're sieging a settlement. Not necessarily that they need my help, but I've just been like, yeah, I want to have a part of that. And I go in to help them. It helps build friendly relations with them. I think you get some loot because you kill some of the enemy, so. But the thing is, I would have to have either a defensive or military alliance with the dwarves, and I do not currently have that. I have a non-aggression agreement, a trade agreement, and military access. Military access just allows me to move my armies through their territory without penalty. It's not actually like we've agreed to help each other in battles. Sorry if it was a bit quiet, I was leaning away from the mic there. Some of the past Total War games, I believe, did have gifting settlements to allies. Or to other factions. Maybe Shogun 2 had that. But it's not something in the Warhammer games. Except for the Empire, and that was recently added. And again, that's restricted to... Oh! Oh, okay. That's interesting and kind of terrifying. Nope. Yep, and we were ambushed by the beastmen. The army failed to spot an enemy ambush. They've launched a surprise attack, surely giving them the upper hand. Oh, that's what they think. But this is Boris Walker. They've got the Dragonbane gem. Yep. Fire resistance, 30%. Would seem beneficial to both you and them if you let them take the whole mountain, waste, chaos, snowy area. It would! They would benefit from it more than I would. And, it would be nice if they did. I can't really force the AI to do that. Whether the AI does or not sort of depends whether they feel they're strong enough to start pushing against Norsca. And Krakadrak is in a very tough position. They're sort of surrounded by enemies, and Norsca is constantly beating on their door, so they don't always get very strong. Honestly, they tend to get wiped out pretty quickly early on. Because there's just so many enemies against them. But since I'm playing as Kislev, I can have a hand in trying to keep them around a bit longer. Perhaps they'll get to a point where they will feel they have the strength to push out of their territory. That would be nice. Clearing Norsca of the Norscans together would be fun to do. Especially if they do not want to ally anyone. They're kind of an isolationist. So. Oh, we're in the spooky forest. We've taken a wrong turn somewhere and we're in a beast path. Okay. Pause. Zoom out. Okay. Most of them are up there. What? Okay. Horses. Go back there. 3 spears. Go over here. Boris. Go there. Gospodar Axeman. Go behind the spears. Crossbows. Actually, hang on. Spears. Go there. You spears. Go there. Axes. Go there. Crossbows. Go there. And Boris. Go there. I assume I cannot just declare war on an ally. I can. That is completely doable. If I have an peace agreement with them, they will hate me, and a lot of other people will hate me because I'm untrustworthy now. Because, you know, you had a peace agreement and you broke it. We can't trust you, and the AI will actually start declaring war on you more often for a period of time after, if you do things like that. No restrictions and penalties for it? There are penalties. There's no restrictions. You can declare war on people if you wish. Indeed, I have done so in the past. Sometimes just because it's like, you know, I feel I'm strong enough to take on the Empire, and I'm Bretonia, and I'm just like, you know, I want your lands. Even though we've been allies for many turns, we're no longer allies, and I'm just attacking you now. And they're like, what? Well, okay, we're at war. And then they hate you. And you're like, well, too bad. I'm taking your territory anyway. But yes, that will negatively affect your reputation with not just that faction, but also every faction. Just everyone ends up distrusting you. So, you don't tend to really want to do that unless you kind of want all-out war, which is, you know, something you could possibly want. Okay, go up here and deal with this cycle. How are you doing? Wait, go back over there. You're on stand ground, aren't you? Yep, good. Right. Actually, let's have a look at the units, because we haven't seen the Beastmen too much. These are Ungors. They're a bit yellow. That's just the faction color. They are satyrs, kind of. They have hooves, horns. These are the weakest. They're kind of pathetic mongrels of the beastmen. They're looked down upon by true Gauls. These are sort of like the mutated spawn of humans, corrupted by chaos or just influenced by Morsleep, the evil moon. And the child ends up being a mutant beastman. And they tend to get left in the forest to fend for themselves, where the beastmen will find them, bring them into the herd, and if they survive, they will end up fighting for the herd as the Ungors. Ungors, for the beastmen in their language, means not Gaul. So, they don't actually have any Gauls in this army, which are the tougher units. It's just a bunch of Ungors, which are kind of pathetic, as I said. There was, over here, here's some Chaos Warhounds. They're just big sort of dog wolf things. They look terrifying. They're covered with spikes. They're fast moving anti-infantry, used for hunting down units fleeing most of the time for me. And here's the Cygor. It's a big, hairy cyclops who throws boulders. And he's like an anti-mage thing. So yeah. Oh, there is also their general. If I can see him somewhere. Where is he? Oh, he's actually dealing a fair amount of damage to Boris. There he is. What's his name? Arbq Heartripper. That's a gore. He's got big horns. He's got a faceplate, so you can't actually see his face. But he's got long dreads, armor, hooves, and he's got 2 axes as his weapons. Quite fearsome. Very melee orientated. Can we see the special abilities they have? Let's see. Yes. He has Primal Fury. Goaded by chieftains and enraged by intruders on their blood grounds, beastmen become consumed by a savage furor. And he has Hatred, which is the ability I mentioned, which is added by the mod, which I have for the beastmen. Enmity is rife in the world, where many races have nurtured grudges and animosities against others for thousands of years, and overwhelming hatred is a potent force in battle. +3 melee attack while they're in melee. For 8 seconds. So they get a little bonus to their melee attack when they charge. The initial charge for the beastmen can be very terrifying. If they have the numbers and the strong units, then it can be very difficult to rally your forces enough to be able to fight them off, as I'm doing right here. Because they just hit so hard. Cygor causes terror too, so... Come on. We won't be able to kill it, I don't think, but if we deal enough arrow damage to it, we might be able to get it to flee. All these Ungors are shaking and they're fleeing. Boris, how's it going? Oh. Oh no, they're attacking my horses. Charge the Chaos Warhounds. They're not that strong in combat, but the Chaos Warhounds are fast. And they're actually pretty good for chasing down cavalry. Oh, we can charge these. They're just Ungors. And charging them will scare them off anyway. Blah! Boo! Okay. Go back over here. Face that way and shoot. Okay. Flee again. Because they're bunching up.
Yes, sir! Quickly! Yes, sir! For Heldenhammer! My Ulrich's Rock!
Men, we will not become food for the beastmen this day.
Spearman! Yes, sir! Quick march!
The beastmen are also quite good at hiding. And this has a lot of forest around it, so they're kind of in their element here. But they just don't have the forces to make good with their ambush. And they lack armor and shields, so we can pick them off with bows, with arrows pretty easily. Actually, shoot Abku. He's got very little health, and we might be able to wipe him out. The loss of their Beast Lord
Crossbows ready, gentlemen!
might be enough to
Swordsman! Go! Spearman!
hurt their morale enough. We're getting pelted by that Cygor, which is annoying. I can't really do too much about it. Oh, they're coming back from there.
Don't give them an inch!
If I had anti-large cavalry, I'd be able to charge it down and chop it up, but I don't.
We are Sigmar's heirs!
Okay. Shoot them. And are they fleeing? I think they're fleeing.
Weapons drawn!
You breaking? How many losses? Yep. And he broke. Good, good.
Yes, General! Prepare the combat! By Ulrich's wrath!
Okay. Stop shooting, because you might just shoot each other. Oh, you've used up all your arrows anyway. Okay. This is all in forest, so cavalry can't move as fast, I don't think. All whilst moving, hide in forest, vanguard deployment. Yeah, no. Our cavalry doesn't have, like, move through trees, so we're moving a little slower than we normally would in the forest.
Taking position!
Come on, kill all these Ungors. They might lose all their troops, though, because they initiated an ambush on me. Let's have a look at the map a bit. We have all these massive trees here. This is what a lot of the forests in Warhammer, in the Empire at least, look like. There's lots of twisted trees everywhere with these massive, like, glistening pustules all over them. So, chaos, corruption. There's a lot of very old forests in the Empire, and they're not places you want to spend your time, because they're teeming with beastmen, mutants, and all the outcasts, so... I like this map. Though it is just for ambushes. There's a little gibbet cage up there. Very spooky. Though it is very tonal shifting from the frozen tundras we're used to as Kislev. And then suddenly it's like, oh, there's, you know, forest and, you know, all these trees. Like, where'd they come from? It's even more jarring if you get ambushed by the beastmen and you're like... and you're like in the waste... You're like in the desert and you end up in a forest like that. Because the maps don't really change for deserts, so... Like, we took a wrong turn and suddenly we're in a forest. But there's no forests around here. That's just how good the beastmen are at ambushing. Nope, I've had a few frames missed due to rendering lag. Pretty low, 1%. Oh, we did that pretty well. We didn't take too many casualties. Only 415. Well done, men. What do we get? 356. Do I want 1,000? We get a banner of eternal flame. That's pretty good. This is a banner, obviously, which is an item which we can actually equip a unit with. So I can put it on these Gospodar Axemen. Now they have, essentially, the banner of eternal flame, which gives a passive ability where around them, in 40 meters, any units nearby them will have fire damage, and will get plus 6% weapon damage. So it's a small buff. And they deal fire damage, which is useful against some enemies. Mostly trolls with regeneration. But yeah, I don't know who I'd give them to. You could also, I think, give it to ranged units, and their weapons will actually become flaming. So they will get, they'll get like fire missile weapons. Not that you'll really be able to see it. Yeah, fire arrows. It doesn't have a visual change. It's just like I think their ranged attacks now count as dealing fire damage. But there's actually not that many fire arrows in the game. I think the only one is Bretonia, and they have peasant bowmen, and you can get a fire arrow variant of them, along with ones with pox arrows. Yeah, I mean, this can be useful on spears, because they go up against, you know, pardon or execute. Execute. Suffer not the beastmen to live. Fire arrows don't really work at all in real life. Don't tell me that. Ah. The idea is cool. I'd imagine though, yeah, the fire would just go out when you're firing them. Hey, what are you doing down there? Olaf Hilmarsson, where did you come from? Oh, we're not actually at war with you. Wait, what? Oh no. Oh, okay. Yeah, right. I said oh no during the turn timer, and it's because I saw up on here all the blue turned yellow. And I was like, oh dear, they've confederated. However, I thought they confederated with another faction which we're at war with. Turns out, the Vanaheimlings actually confederated with Wintertooth. They hate us still, also, so. But yeah, so the Vanaheimlings have united the Chaos Wastes, it seems. But the added weight means less range and speed, hence less penetration, and yes, the fire will just go out mid-air. You'd have to have like a rag or something on it, so. Anyway. We'll resettle Fort Jakova. Oh wait. Actually, there's a Beastman's remnants there. Chase them down. There we go. Just wipe them out. And we'll get Fort Jakova next turn. I should have stayed in my territory. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Get blessed by Ursun. Or, is that plus 10%? Plus 8%. How much does that get up to? 12. Plus 12% ward save. On all my, a lot of my infantry, that's pretty good. You're probably going to declare war on me next turn, aren't you? Oh, you're the guy who's... You've like changed hands like twice, I think. I think you were originally like Hellspire tribe, and then you were the Wintertooth tribe when they confederated with Hellspire. And now you're Vanaheimlings? Okay. They were the ones attacking up here. Have you confederated completely? Looks like it. Oh dear. What I was afraid of happening has happened. The Norscans have united. Oh well. We are in a better position to weather the storm of Norscans. They decide to attack us. When they decide to attack us. Upgrade walls into Fort Stragov. Do I want to upgrade walls in Erengrad? Cannonballs, improved leadership. What do we get? A mortar, great sword, swordsman, crossbows, and Empire Knights. Empire units, not Kislev units. Mortar's useful. But would it be enough? Great swords, halberdiers, and handgunners. Any of our settlements which are ready to upgrade? 2. No. 2. No. 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 It needs 4. It's 4. Okay. You got a point. Yeah, but you're nowhere near. You'd cost even more anyway. I want that there. It's giving me upgrades. May as well keep it for that. What researches is it giving me? Wish it'd tell me. Or does it not? Let's see. Yeah, it does. Improved heavy weapons, full plate mail, and thick tank plating. This one is state issue infantry armor, weapons, and light cavalry armor. So, this one. That one. And what's the other one? Something else. And then it was reinforced armor plating. I can't. I think it's actually giving me a few researchers which are no longer in the game. Yeah. Okay. I don't actually know if it gives any researchers anymore. Might as well. How much would I get if I raise it? 3,600. And a slot, which I'd be able to build something else in. Like walls. A weaving hut? Exotic animal trainer? Or Shrine of Ursun? I could get Hawks of Miska. Just giant birds. I could build a wizard's conclave. Having some ice witches and celestial wizards would be cool. That costs 10,500 gold though. Especially in Hell Pit, it will cost twice as much to build. I'll leave it for now. I'll upgrade the walls in Erengrad. But Erengrad is the more important city. I will hold off on getting something else. Because I would like to pool my money for the next turn. To see what I can build then. Still getting frame splits due to encoding lag. None right now. It might have just been that map which was particularly heavy on my computer. Some of them were like that. Yeah, it's not going up. If the dwarves get taken over by the Norse, and I attack the Norse and liberate the previously dwarven cities, can I return the dwarves to the map? No. The dwarves could come back. If they were wiped out and the Norscans owned the dwarven settlements and those settlements then rebelled, I believe the dwarves would reappear with an army to try and retake their settlements. I don't know if I owned it and they rebelled, if the dwarves would appear. I believe they would. But at the same time, the chaos corruption here might make a chaos army spawn rather than the dwarves. You can make dead factions reappear by doing that, though. That is possible. But, oh, who are you? Oh, hello. It's Egil Styrbjorn. That's a unique lord, added by a mod. Egil Styrbjorn. Before you perish, know that your death will not be meaningless. The champion of Khorne, we can see a big symbol of Khorne on his cape, and all the skulls around him, and his big axes. Armored, armor-piercing, anti-infantry. Berserk. Immune to psychology. It's kind of a big deal. He causes fear, and he's got fire attacks, and he's got bonus versus infantry and armor-piercing. 490 weapon strength. Armor-piercing, 320. He tears through things, jeez. Yeah, so I cannot just attack the Norse and say I don't really want these cities, how about we give it back to the dwarves, which I assume the Norse took as prisoners. No. No. I would get the options I usually do, which are either to colonize it, sack it and colonize it, sack it, or raise it. You don't actually get the choice to resurrect the dead faction. There might be a mod which does that. Chaos? The Warriors of Chaos can do that as one of their abilities, but specifically only for the Norse, or for the Norscans. When the Warriors of Chaos, if you play as the Warriors of Chaos, and you attack a settlement of the Norscans, say, I don't know, Winterpire here, which is now owned by Vanaheimlings, and as the Warriors of Chaos, you attack it, and you defeat the settlement. Afterwards, you get the option to... I forget what it's called. It's like Liberate Tribe or something like that, or it's like make that tribe, make the original tribe, which would be Wintertooth in this case, reappear here, and they would be like a slave tribe to your faction. Like a vassal. But I think that's the only case in the game where you can really do that. So I guess I just genocide everyone when I take a city then. That's really up to the player to determine. The game is not so specific as to determine that. There's not like really dwarven citizens as the game would track it there. You can imagine so. And you can imagine here in Sjortraken, the dwarves might be being used as slaves by the Norscans, or something like that. But there's not like a dwarf citizen stat which the game checks. But I just tend to think of it for what it would be relevant for the faction. If it was taken by greenskins, sure, the dwarves get killed off by the greenskins. If the settlement was taken by the Empire, perhaps the dwarves are grudgingly letting the Empire citizens live in there for the moment or something. Or you can imagine that the dwarves have, like, blocked themselves off in the lower tunnels of their mines or something like that to reappear at a later point, which might never come.
I will marshal the band. Ready.
So. How are you going? Well, corruption will be going down. I'll increase tax rate. Taxes for all! Hooray! If you raise a settlement, yeah, it's kind of just like everyone dead there, which is sort of something that happens in Warhammer. But Warhammer is not a serious or statistically driven game. There are as many casualties as they're required to make the plot awesome. Or, to not modify the quote, the High Elf faction in this is a faction which is in constant decline because their birth rate can't keep up with their casualties they're suffering. However, there are as many High Elves as the plot requires, so they're always on the brink of death, but there is an uncountable amount of them, because so they can have a battle where they lose 1 million troops, and it's a tragedy, but then 100 years later they suffer another battle which they'll never truly recover from. It doesn't make sense, it doesn't bother me, it's just what Warhammer is. Warhammer is a setting for epic battles to take place in, and for tabletop battles to take place in. It's not a meticulously written fantasy setting. There is a lot of detail in it, but primarily it's a setting just for your battles to take place in. About your dudes. Like the dwarves. The dwarves are supposed to be limited in number and very slow at reproducing. But no. The dwarves in this game can take over the entire world. How do they do that? Ow. Why does my FPS keep modifying? So it's about the spectacle battles, not the logistics. Pretty much. Don't... Just don't take it seriously. Is probably the best advice I can get. It's silly. It doesn't make sense. It's... epic battles, you know. Tens of thousands of troops throwing themselves against hordes of greenskins with fireballs flying everywhere and cannons roaring and giants smashing gates down and all that. And it's cool and epic, but where the troops come from, they raise the levies to get enough troops. So you can find like stats for like some of the cities' populations, but it's more just a number to give you an idea of how big it is. It's not like to be taken as definite. I know this is an element of Warhammer, which, and Warhammer 40,000, the science fiction version of this, has this in greater droves, where planets are destroyed, and it is a terrible thing, but it's just like, you know, 100 planets were destroyed in this invasion. It's like, okay. I know some people get really upset about this because it doesn't make sense, and no it doesn't, but you sort of have to take a step back from it, I think. You should not raise the levy as Netherlands, you'll flood the country.
What does the Emperor bid?
What am I doing? Actually, I was getting... We were building up our forces and watching the Vanaheimlings sitting around being spooky. I could probably actually take that on with this army. I would like a few more troops though. 8 turns until you get another rank, another growth point. 3 until you do. Do I want to build toll gates? Yeah, it's only that region. All regions in this province though. Sure. Too bad I didn't occupy the tower. It will be much harder next time. If they build walls, yes. Or if they build garrisons, because they can't build walls as the Norscans. They do have garrison buildings, which increases the number of troops which will be defending the settlement passively. Like my walls, just without walls. But that's why I attacked it in part also, because they didn't have those. So they just had their base garrison, which is 8 units and not very good. And it was a level 3 settlement, which meant it had a lot of it had like a lot of stuff to take. I'll have to fight the whole unified tribes now, not just the one. Yes, yeah, it's a problem. It's kind of an inevitable problem. The Norscans are fighting each other, not just me, so... And they confederate quite quickly. The Norscans have a mechanic where each of the Norscan tribes have their own leader, and if that leader gets beaten, they get a trait, which is like, it's probably just called beaten, and it's like, they've been beaten in combat, they've lost the will to lead, and they're open to confederating with another faction because they've been, you know, someone's proven themselves the stronger. So, I was actually hoping the Wintertooth would be the one who confederates everyone. We'll still see the unique heroes, the unique lords. They're just part of the Vanaheimlings now, not Wintertooth or Norscans, I think is the name of the other legendary lords faction. Wulfric the Wanderer, I think he's called. And there's also this other guy, Egil Steerborn, who's added by mod. I forget which faction he actually starts as. It might be Vanaheimlings, I don't know. He's raiding the dwarves. I should just really declare war on them. I mean...
I've been looking forward to this. Prepare to be ripped to shreds.
Oh, actually, their leader's, Leif Gulbrandsen. You own all of this? You do. You've all confederated. Lovely. You're at war with Norscans. If I could get some alliances with the Empire... You're actually strength rank 1. That's impressive. You're taking over a fair bit of the Empire. Which is normal. They confederate with the other Empire factions. To unify the Empire. Ostermark. Non-aggression pact? You're at war with Talabheim. Nah. Nordland. You're not at war with anyone.
Approach us, friend, and make your
Defensive ally?
Not in my name.
Nope. Okay. Talabakland?
Come then. Only Sigmar's god.
You're at war with Ostland and Ostermark. So as tempting as that is, I don't really want to. Manblight tribe. Hey there. Yeah. I thought you would be interested in anything. Trade with a beastman? What would they even give me? Just like stinking animal hides and dung. I want to get rid of you. Defensive alliance. Last deals differ greatly. Payments. Offer payment of 680. Nope. Defensive alliance. Offer payment of 1,000.
No reason for it.
No. Okay. Fine. Actually, a defensive alliance. I joined war against the Vanaheimlings. And I give you some money.
Sure.
Hey! Well, they accepted that. Do you want an alliance? Over my dead body! That can be arranged, declares war. Actually having a number of frame issues right now. It's probably just going through the menus and all that. Is something happening? Let me just check. Windows? Are you doing something? don't know. Possibly. There doesn't seem to be anything major going on. Eh, whatever. Well, we're at war with the Vanderheimlings now. Can I take you? Yeah, sure. Why not?
Praise Sigma.
Looks like you've just got those guys. I've done a terrible thing. Am I? There we go. Okay. My taskbar wasn't disappearing. Those stubborn dwarves not accepting my defensive alliance offerings. Actually, we have one now because it took going to war with the Vanderheimlings and maybe a gift. I might not need to have given them a gift, but saying, hey, these Norscans have confederated or joined forces. Would you like me to help you with this? It's apparently enough for them to say, yes, manling. Okay, good. Thank you. Because I would prefer you to be alive. And where Kislev? Where Kislev? You can trust us, dwarves. Long have we stood side by shoulder to shoulder against the forces of chaos. Or, you know. Nope, nope. No jokes. It will be a grudging. Yep, okay. They've just got Marauder champions, which are heavily armored, shielded. Yeah, they're better than my infantry. But they do have 2 spellcasters. I might be able to deal with them as my hero. Or my lord. Zakar Parshin.
Our weapons are yours.
There. And we'll get you there. And the spears will hold there. You there, you there, you there. Go on, skirmish. Nope, they're chucking fireballs. One of them is a fire mage. Bam! He killed like 2 of my horses. That's their spellcasters. Let's have a look at them actually. We have the Marauder champions in the Vanderheimling colors, so yellow and blue, which looks pretty good. We have Egil, what's his name? Egil Steerborn, who looks like a Chaos champion, as I believe he is. With his dual axes, cape, and heavy armor. Blessed by Khorne, the blood god. We have these 2 spellcasters over here. One of death and one of fire. Fire is the one which is chucking the fireballs, and death will have soul leech. Spirit leech. Oh, it's also got doom and darkness. Oh, and you've got the burning head as well. Okay, so they have a bit more magic capacity than I thought they would. Go over there. Am I at war against them now? I am. I'm at war with the Vanderheimlings. It was a condition of getting an agreement with the dwarves. There's a spell. That's the burning head. It's a fire spell, and it travels off in a direction, burning everything in its path. Though they cast it on my cavalry, so it's not doing too much. I wouldn't actually like to get stuck in with against Egil Steerborn. with my general. I believe he'd kick my guy's ass. Kind of a big deal. At least he's a champion of Khorne, so he's going to be very good in combat. I can charge these guys in melee, however, because these infantry are not spears.
Steady, men.
No! Don't do that. He's casting Spirit Leech on my general. It will deal damage over time to him. It will only last for a little while. It will deal an amount of damage to him. Not enough to kill him. He'll have to cast it several times for that, but... Come on. Charge away. You've done a good job against that squad. They're nearly all dead. Hooray for cavalry archers.
At speed! To battle! Spearmen! No lingering!
Go over there.
By Ulrich's wrath! Spearmen! Yes, my lord! Ah!
Actually hold. Oh, you've been caught.
Ready!
Kind of.
Our steeds are restless!
They're still tough. And they've got a lot of armor. Okay, charge out.
Spearmen!
Go over there.
March!
Oh, they've got a penalty on them. What is that? The other trickster's shard. Oh. Actually. Oh, that's minus magic resistance. Okay. That's not, I thought it was actually increasing his chance for miscast, but it's not.
Moving now! Formation march!
Come on. You're shooting them in the rear because their shields only affect them from the front, which is very good.
No lingering!
Face them.
Yes, General! Formation march! Mind their tentacles! We serve France!
Okay.
Ready for war! We serve France! Ready!
It is important if you have cavalry to cycle charge them. Though you don't cycle charge them immediately. You leave them in combat for a little bit, because they do have to, like, cut at the enemy in melee a bit. They broken? Wavering. Broken. Good.
Spearmen! For the twin-tailed comet! Moving now!
Move over there.
Send us out! Our masters desert us!
Winged lancers are winded. Actually, shoot Egil Steelborn, because he doesn't have a shield. This is not a... What? You route? You better not.
Taking that position! Sir, take the ground! We serve France!
My men are routing! What is this? Cowards! I mean, they're doing a very good job, but... Would you leave Kislev undefended? Go on. You chase them down. Egilvon's horseman, is he actually... No, he's not unbreakable.
Be gone, creatures! Quick march, chaos, scum!
Hey, you rallied.
Quickly! The Empire endures. General! It's moving
Go around.
now!
Up over this way. Oh, I've actually split up my squads in the wrong order.
Moving now! Ready to serve!
Our men are running from the battlefield. Shameful display.
For Heldenhammer!
Shogun 2. Don't go into melee. Oh, you don't have any arrows left. Okay.
The ground quakes!
Well, go over here then.
Yes, General! By Ulrich's wrath!
Eagle Steelborn has gone berserk. He's rampaging. He has no control over his actions anymore.
Sir! Yes, General! As long as we draw breath, they will die!
37 kills. But
Emperor's might! Sigma Corps! Wield the spearmen! Anderson! For the Emperor!
he keeps casting Spirit Leech on my winged lancers.
At speed!
It will kill them eventually. It's more of a spell you cast on a single unit rather than multiple, but
Quickly!
you and you, just stop. 5.
Command reverts to you! They are mine to lead! Taking position! For Heldenhammer! We serve France!
Chase down these marauders.
Spearman! Back to your command! Quick march! Sir! For Sigma! The gods have abandoned us!
Yeah, we got a few friendly hits there, but
Withdraw!
hopefully we'll be able to kill enough of their troops that the rest of the army just goes, oh crap, there's no one left, and they'll
We obey!
run away.
Ready!
So I'm out of arrows.
Yes, General!
We might be able to wear them down in melee. Perhaps. Come on, get rid of those spellcasters.
Spearman!
My spearmen rally again.
General!
Very impressive.
Yes, General! Sigma Corps!
Oh, 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 oh! Hey, it's broken! And we win. Well done. That was kind of close. I was worried there for a moment that we wouldn't be able to kill him and Eagle Steelborn would just carve through the rest of my units. But if he was unbreakable, we would have a problem. Thankfully, he's not. So we should actually be able to cut him down to size. Now. This might be a little boring, but I think I'll wait until they've actually killed him. Because I want him in... I want him wounded for a number of turns. If I lose the battle while he's alive, then he'll just run off. Unless I chase down the army, but... Well, I mean, if I kill him, then the then the army will get replaced by another lord. But that'll be a Norscan lord, it won't be them, so... And we killed the 2 heroes too, so that's good. Got 66 kills. We did pretty good. Winged Lancers took a beating, but that was because of the constant Spirit Leech has been cast on them. At least I'm casting it on them and not on my general. They could have killed him with that. Maybe. My spearmen got so badly beaten. But they held on! They rallied right near the end as well. So, good job. Watch as he gets replaced by an even more powerful lord. It is possible. I mean, even if he gets replaced, they've basically got no army there. So it would just be the lord. And if he came back, I would have fully replenished arrows. I could fill him full of holes. Maybe. If it was like Throg, it'd probably be a problem. Because he's a troll and he has regeneration. If it was Wulfric the Wanderer, he's a human-sized character, unless he's got one of his mounts. He might be on a chariot. He has a shield and a sword. So, Wulfric is more of a duelist, I might have mentioned. He's about saying, you know, you lord over there, I'm going to challenge you, and I insult you in every tongue which you understand. With terrible insults, so they have no choice but to face me. And it puts them in a blind rage, and they duel him, he wins, and at least this is the law. And he gets another blessing from the Chaos Gods. No, actually, it's his curse that he will have to beat everyone in melee. Because I think he thought that he didn't need the gods, Chaos Gods or something. So, he also has an ability where he summons his longship to attack people on the battlefield. Yeah, 710, execute.
Pick up the pace.
Butcher or Butcherer. It's not easy to kill a mighty champion of Khorne, but somehow this character did it. Armor piercing damage, plus 30. Man, that's pretty good. Asavar. Asavar. I'd like Asavar cool as a legendary lord. Cormac.
Yes, my lord.
Okay. Well, you happy about that, dwarves? Yep, military actions against Vanaheimlings, plus 5. And war with Vanaheimlings, 15. And you can see we are now defensive allies, I believe.
Honor to your
Yep.
ancestors.
Honor to your ancestors.
By the comet.
So,
To battle.
you would move back. Replaced with famine.
Can I offer assistance?
Funnily enough, there isn't actually chaos characters based off the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. There's 4 gods, but they don't really follow that sort of, you know, famine, pestilence, war, and death. They're sort of what? Well, they're more plague, war, perfection, and change. So, Nurgle, Khorne, Slanesh, and Zinch. But they're also not just evil, they're also kind of
I will marshal the band.
good as well. They're chaos, they're chaotic. They're not, like, evil for being evil, they're just chaotic because... I don't know. And chaos just happens to be an enemy of most of the good factions because it's unpredictable. And oversimplification. Don't think I'll get into all that. How are we going for time? Okay, nearly 2 hours. I might go for another 10 minutes. Stop. Round 2 hours rather than 1 minute. 1 hour and 50 minutes. We're having a number of frames lost. Or frames skipped. Not dropped frames. I haven't had any problems with my network. Fine, but my recording has been a bit iffy. Not too bad. At least not to me. Today's horseman. Upgraded for the modern society. I remember in a book by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman called Good Omens. There's the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Death, war, pollution, who replaced pestilence because of the invention of penicillin, and famine. And there's also a fifth horseman of the apocalypse called Chaos, but he was retired. So. Oh, Tor Elithus refugees now, and not the Black Spider Clan, or whatever it was called. Rank gained Boris Borka. Rank 7. Get blessed by Ursun. We now have plus 12 ward save on Gospodar's Joyaska and Streltsy. It'll be useful when we get Joyaska and Streltsy. At the moment we only have Gospodars. But it affects these units, which is good. Oh, it affects the Spearmen as well. Yeah, plus 12. Doesn't affect the crossbows. Or the horse archers. I didn't expect it to affect those spearmen. I could get Karakungor. Be kind of good. It's got gold there, which is quite valuable. How much would it take to colonize it? 1,000. Probably take you several turns to get up there. Unless I wanted to take a turn of attrition. If I take it now, I can benefit from it, and I'll be able to deny it to the enemy. You're going to take attrition for a turn, but it's bearable. It's going to make it cost more next turns as well. Okay, go to Fort Stragov. You can replenish. Actually, I can get a boyar. We can get a captain. This is just the Empire hero. We can get a boyar. The boyars are the middle rank nobility of Kislev, the nobles who hold real power. Bogdan of the Ice and Nikolai Ungolov. The dwarves lost Crackerdrack, did they? Nope. No, they still got it. They've lost Sjortraken. I hope they haven't lost Crackerdrack. That's the capital. Right. Well, I'll give you armor piercing +5, melee attack +3, or confident leadership +2. All units in army. The leadership of them is pretty good, so I'm gonna get Bogdan of the Ice. What abilities do you have? Warhorse, Hold the Line, Ursun's Ward, Immortality, of course. Hard to hit, Deadly Blade, Deadly Onslaught. Ah, it's just a generic. Okay. Nothing unique about you. I just remembered earlier I said they lost something. Sjortraken is the only settlement the dwarves have lost.
What do you need?
Though. Might have mentioned something else. I can't remember. Specialty. Hit stuff. Oh. Pretty much. Also, giving their leadership to units around them. They have Encourage, which means any of my units nearby get the benefit of their leadership. Which my guys have good leadership anyway. Especially because of the special ability Kislev has. But having a bit more leadership is useful.
How can I assist?
18. Okay, I can make you leave there now. And I will move you. I don't actually want to remove this Winged Lancers unit from this army. It's been proven very useful.
Lady of the Azrael.
I think they've made a new home there.
You call?
Go over to Prague. Yep. It'll have... Oh wait, that's actually going up. Well, because I've got no of my own corruption there, so it'll go up to 100%. Yeah, that'll put it at 50%. That'll actually make it a bit worse. So we might have to put an army in there every now and then to maintain order.
At your service.
It's not quite there yet, but... what do I want? Bryaska? Nah. Would like some crossbows. They're not Kislev units. But these are like 50 more. I'll get one this turn. Because I want to have enough money to be able to take Karak Ungor next turn. At least to be able to colonize it. It's unpleasant for me to live in mountains. It's not uninhabitable, so it's not as bad as, say, Chaos Wastes or Hell Pit up there, which is Badlands, I think? Blasted Wastes? Something like that. Wolves are still around. Karak, what's it called? Angrund is still around. Karak Kadrin's still around. Vampire Counts. Von Carsteins are still, and Barra Legion. Wood Elves. Arguillan. Wood Elves haven't fully confederated yet. Sentinels of Zeti. Latlan. I'm surprised Ostland's still around. They keep getting attacked by the other Empire factions. Princes, Stalia's still there, and Talia, and Tabaro. That speaks good. Means the Skaven aren't attacking too much down there. Need to get that terraform research going. Yes, I need to reallocate my citizens, which will have better ability to live there from other places. What is it you do in Masters of Orion? You like take people from one place and you move them somewhere where they actually can live. Or you just terraform the planet. Or you make a race which just, we can live anywhere because we live on the ground or something. Okay. Yeah, you're taking nutrition.
Yes, my lord.
Go take Karak Ungor. Hopefully it'll pay off in the future. We'll build a hamlet. And look at that. 600, 900, 1,000, 200. Not as much. Because it's unpleasant. We're getting minus 15, so. I haven't played the new one, but in the second game you just terraformed, I think. You're probably right. I haven't played much of Masters of Orion 2. I do have it. And I have had fun playing it. I'm kind of a latecomer to 4X games. Growing up, they were like, oh, these are boring technical turn-based games. I prefer real-time strategy because they're more action-orientated. I have changed on that. Slowly killing off whatever race you enslaved, yes. I played more of Masters of Magic. That's fun. If janky, but... yeah, we'll be able to get a full settlement out of this. And gold, which is nice. We're living in the mountains. Azid Urkelas. Hey, we can see Karak Kadrin now. Hey,
Come to my throng.
hello. Non-aggression pact, please.
No reason for it.
Pray to your gods that I die, so that you may return and entreat my sire. Okay. Jeez. Calm down, Ungrim. I know you're a slayer and all, but... Okay, fine. Karak Kadrin is the Slayer Keep owned by Ungrim Ironfist. Slayers are dwarves which have, what's it called? They've, like, broken a vow, or in some way have dishonored themselves, and to such a great degree that they can't recover. And they take up the Slayer Oath, which is, I will search for my doom, fighting as hard as I can against any enemies which I come across, until I die. So, because that's the only way I can, like, restore my dishonor.
Your service.
Very fatalistic. They dye their hair green. They dye their hair orange and give themselves a big mohawk, usually. They go into battle wearing very little clothing. Right. I will move you over here. Yeah, it's going down.
Proud daughter of
And I will get another one of you. Do I want another one? I have 3.
Athel Lauren.
Ah, that's right, I lost 2 units of halberdiers, didn't I? Get another unit of spearmen. Bit of an inconvenience that most of the races in the south seem to be brown on the map. Yeah, it's a bit confusing. I mean, we're brown. Ostermark here is brown. Talabheim is actually dark red. So there is a bit of difference. Karak Kadrin is red too, the same colour. Auckland's green. Nordland's like a grey, grey-blue. Oh, yeah, it is a bit confusing here though. Ostermark and Kislev are very similar in colour. So we can see clearer if I go diplomatic status. We own this mountain range now. Apparently. Renting it from the dwarves. You can see Essen down there. We're revealing some of the map. Actually, can I get another captain? I can. Get Mikhail Ropsman. And we'll go exploring. We'll actually have a look. Go down to see the vampire counts. I want to know what they're doing. There is actually more color down there. Averland is yellow, I think. Solund might be purple. Sturland, I think, is green. And Wissenland actually might be red as well. So that's not really helping. Oh, well, okay, our agreements with Nordlands are now in the drink. Nordland just confederated with the Empire. So, you can see on the mini-map up there, what was Nordland is now red, which is the Empire. That's not... is that a bad thing? It means we've got one less trade partner. Because I was trading with Nordland, maybe, and Altdorf, or the Empire. So. But at the same time, the Empire confederating means that they're stronger. So. Overall, I think it's a good thing. If you want diversity in the game campaign, it is kind of a bad thing. because eventually everyone's wearing the colors of the Empire, or Reichland, which is red and white. Whereas Nordland would have their own colors, which I think were blue and yellow. And I do have mods which give the Empire provinces their own like uniform and what's it called? Symbols on their shields. Oh look, Wulfric has come to raid Zoishank. How kind. How big is your army? Wait, don't tell me. You're gonna have 6 feral elephants. Or 6 feral mammoths. I can't even see you. Okay, let's see. Oh, it's only like half an army. That's actually kind of pathetic. There's Wulfric the Wanderer. He's on a horse. Got a shield covered in the skin of, I think, a lord he killed. It's got Engra, a skinned wolf werekin, which is a hero skinned wolf. Charon, the Fang in the Night, a wizard of the Lore of Metal. Valnia Agnerson, another shaman sorcerer of the Lore of Metal. And Marauder champions, possibly. Just Charm Shield, he's got Norscan Warhorse, training, scouting, stance raiding. So, his army is not that impressive, honestly. I was expecting more mammoths.
The Empire.
And a full stack. Go there. But yes, you can see Nordland up here, Salzenmund, Dieterschaffen, and Norden as all confederated. Also here, Wrecker's Point, they owned. Which is usually owned by the Greenskins here, the Leafcutters tribe in the Black Pit, which was added in the last patch. We can also see the Wood Elves here, Laurelon Forest. Have a forest retreat in the middle of the Drakwold, I believe it's called there. Which I think just means like dark woods. But we can't actually open diplomatic relations with them. Now there is owned by Marienburg. That actually seems to be the only settlement owned by Marienburg, because Marienburg itself is owned by the Empire. Good. Marienburg is a very powerful city to own. A big port. It's like Ehrengrad. We'll move you down there.
By the comet.
Valmir von Rolkov. Archers, free company militia, swordsman, fine. I want their weaving house. How are you going? You're still going to be building that. Okay. And you go over there. You can see the money I've been getting has gone down a fair bit because we lost our Nordland trading ally, which is kind of a shame, but he's luring me into a false sense of security. He's going to ambush you with a horde of mammoths. I hope not. Mammoths are scary. I mean, infantry lines just blah. You have halberds or spearmen, you think that they can hold against large units? Yeah, sure. Mammoths just charge right through them. We've seen one of them. If there's only 1 or 2, they're not that bad, because they're big targets and you can shoot them full of arrows. If there's like 6 of them, that's more of a problem, because if you shoot 1, you have to focus fire them. If you shoot 1, there's still 5. So, it's kind of just spoilt for choice.
What does the Emperor bid?
I could buy 1 unit of spearmen.
I will marshal the band.
Yeah, get 1 unit of spearmen. You can never hear a copter in a movie unless it's right on you. Yeah, that's a good point. I never really noticed that. You can hear them around here from ages away. Oh, I assume ambushes work as helicopters in movies work. Yeah, pretty much. if an army lays an ambush, if they're successful, they disappear. And if I move into their zone of influence, which is a circle around the Lord, like a projected area of control, if I enter that, then there's a chance I will actually get pulled into an ambush. There is another check there. Your Lord can have ambush defense chance, which will mean, oh, they're caught in an ambush, but your Lord is able to rally the troops enough so that's an even fight rather than being caught flat-footed. But if he fails, like we saw with the Beastmen before, kind of. The Beastmen actually have normal stance where they ambush as an attack, rather than having to lay an ambush. The Skaven could do that as well. Just because they're sneaky like that. Their basic method of attack is ambush. Then you get drawn into a battle which you can't decline, you can't flee from, and if you lose, all of your units die. Never mind the huge mammoth sticking up for the forest it's trying to hide in. They've covered them with trees. They're like, it's like ghillie suits, but you know, for mammoths. Was that forest there this morning? Yeah, Wolfric the Wanderer backed off.
To the provinces.
One more turn. Do I want Khazid Urkulaz? Is it causing corruption? Buildings and commandments. It is. How much would it cost to recruit to colonize? 1,400.
You need me?
I want you to go there,
Treading softly.
and I will want you to
Orders are acceptable.
settle the encamp there. And I've been going over.
I will not. Raise Sigma.
You can see ambush success chance in the pop-up window there. I have 40% in this, which is tundra. If I move over to a forest, I have 70% chance because it's light forest. Yeah. If I level up my Lord in a way which improves his, what's it called? His ambush rate. Well, there's ambush defense rate. So, I don't think I can actually increase his ambush chance. Though I think if you have enough successful ambushes with that Lord, he'll get a trait. How can I make sure Frozen Landing gets returned to the dwarves? I can't really. Frozen Landing wasn't owned by the dwarves. Sjortraken was. Frozen Landing is owned by the Norscans normally. But I can't. The best I can do is, like, attack it, raise it, and then hope the dwarves colonize it. Which they might. I don't know. It's up to the dwarf AI. Okay. We'll do well. We'll just finish this turn and move on to the next one then. Oh, I forgot to move my hero. Oh well. Have a look. He marches along past Beckhafen, seeing more of the world. It says more of the world than Kislev. Kislev is not the world. It was the other one, not Frozen Landing? Yep. It was Sjortraken, which was owned by the dwarves originally, not Frozen Landing. I think Frozen Landing is usually owned by the Bearsling tribe or something like that. Which we fought quite early on. It'd be nice if there were some other settlements for the dwarves to take up in the north there. Lost Holds. And the like. But Crackerdrack is supposed to be sort of very isolated up there, surrounded by enemies. That's kind of the point of the faction. Long story short, the dwarves had a realm-spanning empire called the Karazankor, which I mention every now and then, and it was basically through all the mountains in the world. Then I forget exactly what happened. A tragedy occurred, earthquakes happened everywhere, and many of the holds' underground tunnels got collapsed, and a lot of the dwarven holds got blocked off from each other, and Krakadrak was left all alone up there in the north. And somehow they managed to survive all that time. I think it's a few thousand years ago, I think. And the dwarves are all about reclaiming their lost empire. They have a leader down in the south from where we are, who is keen on seeing that done. He's called Thorgrim Grudgebearer. We haven't seen him. We haven't seen the actual dwarf faction. They're located here. This big mountain called Karazakarak. Hey, there's vampire counts. They're sieging Essen? No, they're just standing next to Essen. Oh, it's what's his name? Manfred von Carstein.
Thy right is mine.
Hello. He's a vampire lord. He has sword of unholy power. Whatever this blade tastes blood, its wielder seems to exert greater control over the winds of magic. He's a spellcaster primarily. Vampiric corruption, melee attack, weapon strength plus 10, magical attacks, recruitment cost minus 10%. So yeah, there's vampire counts. Necromancer, Engelbert Gorst. They have zombies, which are pretty pathetic. They're slow. They got no armor. They got black knights, lancers and barding, and black knights. They're skeletons on horses. Vampire counts don't have any ranged at all. They have their spellcasters, which can fire spells at range, but no archers or anything like that. They have monsters though, and cavalry. And their troops don't flee because they're undead. I'll take Frozen Landing again. I think I'll just raise it. Yep. There we go. And yeah, it's not worth sacking. Raise it. Ruin's End! Dark, corrupting, evil forces have no place here! Achieved victory over Chaos and Norsca multiple times. Leadership +3 when +3 when fighting against Chaos and Norsca, Lord's army. She gets better at fighting against the forces of Chaos. Hopefully he's competent, like some idiot vampire lord in Skyrim. Manfred is quite competent. However, he's also quite backstabby. I won't get into it. Let's see. Let's get that. So Yuck's healing. That'll help when I encamp again next turn. Are you recruiting more? No, you're not actually. Manfred is competent. He's got his eyes on Sturland. The Elector Count of Sturland. Why does Hochland have Waldenhof? Okay, they've been busy. Castle Drakenhof is still owned by the Vampire Counts, and so is Eschen. Waldenhof is owned by Hochland. Hochland is over here. Marched all the way down there. Okay, fine. You can see the vampiric corruption here. All the land is all spooky and full of gravestones and spirits floating away and all that. Yeah. I might have once played as Manfred. I prefer playing as his sire, Vlad von Carstein, who's kind of a big badass. It's hard to put him up. He and his wife, Isabella von Carstein. Porchgova? Yeah, sure. Whereas Manfred is a spellcaster, primarily. He's a powerful mage. Vlad is also a mage, but he's also a melee-focused lord. And very hard to kill. So he doesn't get any mounts, I believe. Vlad is solely on foot, whereas Manfred can actually get a zombie dragon as a mount, which is quite powerful. And a horse that he has there at the moment. Then again, getting Bethesda or Blizzard to make any competent characters that don't defy the established law nowadays is far-fetched. Oh, you're talking about Vampire Lord in the what's it called? Dawnguard DLC? Don't really remember too much about him. A lot of faffing about and eventual betrayal. And I never really liked that guy's daughter, who follows you around all the time complaining about how it's so bright and I'm a vampire and I'm not used to the sun. What's the name? I think it starts with an S. Is there vampires in Blizzard games? I don't think there is. In Warcraft. Oh! Hello. Throg comes with Marauder Berserkers. How lovely. Serena, I believe. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Welcome. Well. I did get some Marauder Horsemen throwing axes. Oh, this is Throg. And Wulfric the Wanderer. They have one unit of skin walls. And a whole bunch of Marauder Berserkers. That's kind of scary. Playing black and white. Sure, I suppose. One more battle. I was going to stop, but then this turned up. 20 minutes later. Gonna be... whatever. Battle of Zoishank. I can't just leave Zoishank to be sieged and razed by them again. So, we stand here! The enemy will get no further. They will meet the bite of our arrows and the points of our halberds. Or spears. What's the big threats? Marauder Berserkers! Because they're going to slaughter my infantry. We do have a mortar. The skin walls are scary, but they're not armoured, so... once more we play our dangerous chess against our old adversary. I mean, we're playing as Kislev. We're there to defend against Norscans. That's what we're there for. We die so that the Empire can live safely. Even though they're ungrateful for it. Okay. Our forces are coming in as reinforcements. Well, there's a hill here, so we'll reinforce that. There we go. We've got our Boya, who will bolster our troops' morale. Or leadership, not morale. There we go. And you, and you, and you. They're actually also coming in as reinforcements. So they're attacking me. They might attack me in waves, or they could hold back until their numbers get combined and then attack me. We can actually see the settlement of ours over there. Not that it means much. But we do have this hill, which is quite nice. Start the game. Will they attack me one, then two? Or will they wait for their reinforcements and then attack me all as one? Kinda looks like they're attacking me all as one. Welp. We do have halberds, so that's quite good. Okay, you go there. You halberds, back up behind those spearmen. You swordsman, I want you there. Hey, we got handgunners! That's pretty good. We'll get these crossbows. Get that mortar up there. There. And we've got outriders too. That's pretty good. They're repeater rifle armed infantry. Where's our general for this one? Pavel per vac. Okay. Pavel. You're gonna go there. You and you. What do I want to do with you two? Over there. Okay.
Halberdiers! State troops ready!
I kind of want a thick line because they'll push through my troops fairly easily, I feel. We have a mortar here. This is an Empire unit. That's what it looks like. It's a mortar on wheels. And we have our crossbows. Do we have a handgunners somewhere? Yep, there they are. Armed was there. Rifles. That'll be good. They're armor piercing. We have all of our mounted cavalry. Very, very useful.
Steady, men! To battle! At speed! Go!
Warhounds.
Missile troops!
Face that way.
March! Swordsman!
Swordsman, do that. They gotta try and flank me, but if we can preempt that a bit. And you all group, toggle guard mode, don't move from that spot. Gonna have to turn. I actually want you to turn slightly, because you're facing sort of away from the enemy. They'll have to charge up the hill to get us, which will make them a bit slower.
Halberdiers!
A bit slower.
Swordsman! Sigmar calls! We are Sigmar!
Can I bait them into charging me early by moving my troops around a bit?
At speed! Armed and ready!
Hey, shoot those Marauder Horsemen axemen. Because the Warhounds have missile defense.
The Empire endures! March as one! Swordsman! No lingering! Quick march! We await your orders!
Okay,
Move go!
run up there.
Outriders!
Outriders, run over there. See if you can shoot the skid walls.
Swordsman! The Empire endures!
And they fled off the map. Fine. Oh, and they did too. Well done.
Quicker!
They have some Marauder Horsemen javelins over there, so
At the ready!
move you.
Lingering! To battle!
And they're charging their heroes up as well. Go there. Go there. Swords. Just go at the back there. I feel like they're going to try and flank me.
Cavalry ready! Yes, General!
we got any new units in their army which we can see? No, they're just spears. There's their skin wolf werekin. He's scary. He's got red eye. You can see all the skin hanging off of his body. Because werewolves in Warhammer, they don't just transform into a werewolf, they the werewolf like bursts from the body of the human when they transform. There's Wulfric the Wanderer. His big beard and many trophy skulls and skeletons all over him, and his shield with the flayed skin of someone he killed in the past on it. He's also got like a lizardman hide on his back. He's been all over the world. Oh, he's got a greenskin skull there as well. Well, if I'm about to perish, I did at least choose the hill I want to die on. Very true. More skin wolves. Berserkers. I'm gonna have to deal with those berserkers somehow. There's a lot of them. There's Throg. You get to see Throg. Oh, and I've got another skin wolf werekin. But yep, that's Throg the Troll King. He's pretty big, and he's got a big hammer. He's also got a special ability called Projectile Vomit. Let's see, he's got regeneration, he causes fear, he has frostbite, which means units around him get slowed down, armor piercing, bonus versus large, copious vomit, powerful explosion, good against armor, strong versus a single unit. It's a magic missile. I think he can cast it 3 times. Cast it. And the description is quite humorous. But yes, he's actually quite intelligent for a troll. You can see his crown of the Wintertooth there. Oh, he's very tired. Okay, so a number of these are actually very tired because they had to march their army into range. That's kind of good for me. There's all their mages. They're just congregating back there. Okay. Well, yeah, shoot those javelins. They are anti-large, but we have a lot of ranged, so shoot those skin walls, please. You have repeater rifles. Come on. Bang! Unfortunately, the Outriders, they can't fire while they're moving, unlike my cavalry. That skin wolf got into melee with them. Don't, even though he caught you, don't, like, engage him. So, if they're fleeing, they can't actually shoot back, unlike my horse archers, which can. So, I don't tend to use Outriders for that reason. But they are good. They do have rapid fire rifles, which is quite useful against heavily armored units. Because they're armor piercing. With their bullets. Okay. Come on. We'll be able to kill some. We'll be able to make them flee. They have regeneration? They do. And they have frenzy. Now, mortar is attacking the enemy. Can we see where it is firing? Some shots have landed here. Okay, handgunners move a bit over. Come on, shoot those skin walls. We're killing them slowly. And they're wavering. They're shaken.
Sigma guide our fire.
Okay, who just charged into combat there? The Werekin. There's a copious vomit from Throg. I'm going to want to move you over there. You go up there. You two. Move over there.
Sigma calls.
No, then we're all the champions. They've got shields. Okay. Move. Bye.
Harass might. No lingering.
Actually, no. Move this way. Half of you move up there. The other half move down here. If they're casting spells on us. Don't withdraw. Cowards.
Find your targets.
What's fleeing? Oh my spearmen. Look at that. They took so many casualties so quickly. Hey, this is gonna hurt. I might lose this a lot faster than I thought I would.
At speed. Fire. Moving now. Prepare for... Our steeds are restless. Formation march. My orders stand.
If we could just break the berserkers, then a lot of their bite will go.
Attack! At speed.
Get those berserkers.
Swordsman! Send us out. Take the ground.
Get back up there.
Taking position. Yes, General.
Oh, you got charged in the rear. No.
Quickly! Now! For the Emperor! Yes, my lord! No lingering!
Okay, get out there. Managed to escape.
Armed and ready! Charge! We serve France! By Ulrich's wrath! Outriders! Shoot them! Withdraw! Battle awaits! General, weapons! Sick! Ready!
Sick.
General!
Uh oh.
Sir! Understood!
Right. Good.
Sir!
Good throw.
Ready!
Man, stop fleeing.
Orders!
Stop dying, you cowards.
Prepare for combat! Formation march! Ready! Withdraw! For the Emperor! I speak, you act! Formation march!
Blech.
Ground waits! Yes, General! Yes, General! Combatant!
Yes, so much for my front line.
Last will! Sir! At speed!
Oh, we killed Throg.
Sigma! Preservers! The ground quakes! Hold fire! For the Emperor! Quick march! Quick march!
Come on.
Yes, sir, quickly! No lingering! Soldiers of the
Blech.
Empire! Our steeds are restless. Taking position. Sigmar guides us. Orders. Take the ground! Moving now! Ah! Outriders! We obey! Formation match! Sir! We serve France! The Empire endures! Down for the Emperor! For Heldenhammer! Sigmar!
I'm losing troops.
We await your orders! No lingering!
He
Formation
thought in his
march!
hubris that he could beat this.
War! Yes, General! Ready for war! Steady, men! Take position! Moving now! We await your orders! Ivarina, listen!
I'd like my general to get out of melee, thank you. Not gonna happen, is it?
Yes, sir,
Come on,
quickly!
you're nearly there.
Moving
My winged lancers are all dead. Or fled.
Detachments move! Sigmar calls! Get down! Take the ground! In Sigmar's name! At speed! Shoot them!
Okay, we're all the horsemen there. Get those berserkers.
In the name of the twin
At least we've got guns still.
We are Sigmar's heirs! To battle! Ready! For the Warhammer! Quickly!
You've used up all your ammunition.
Serve the Emperor!
Yay!
Cavalry ready! Outriders! Strike them down! At speed! Send us out!
Fireball. Okay.
Ulrich Graf! Quick march!
There's a unit of halberdiers just running around. Ah. These are skinned wolves. It's not smart to charge them with cavalry because they're anti-large, but I don't really have a choice.
For the Emperor!
Come on, shoot these berserkers.
Withdraw! At speed!
Damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it. Everyone's fleeing.
Sigmar preserve!
Maybe if I picked off a few more of their melee units. Well, I think we hurt them pretty badly though. So, if they try and siege the settlement, they're going to be severely weakened from that. So, it's not a complete loss. I felt like we could have taken that. Probably could have. Whatever. If I had more spells, I would have. If I had other things. We did pretty good, I think, considering. It's just so many berserkers, and I just. The problem is Norsca. They hit your lines and they just sort of carve through my infantry. My spearmen are just not up to the task of holding against those berserkers. Especially if the berserkers get stuck into combat. The longer they stay in combat, the better they get. So. My horse archers were good against the berserkers, but I couldn't really get close enough to shoot them. I probably spent too much time shooting at their skin walls. We did get Throg though. Wulfric's pretty badly injured too. We took one of their werekin. We badly damaged a lot of their other ones. Yeah, they've got like 300 or something units left. The ice cream will come around once the settlements are taken on the north side. Yeah. This is not a... what's it called? This is not an embarrassing defeat. Or as it says, it's a valiant defeat. We did a good job. you know, it's not like we may have lost the battle, but we've won the war kind of thing. They're too weak, I think, now to really make a push further into our lands. Excellent time for the Empire to declare war. Against me or against Norsca? Against Norsca, I would like that. Against me, I'd prefer if they didn't. I don't think they will. I haven't been upsetting them. And I don't think they're likely to declare war against me. Don't tempt them. It's not. It doesn't happen often, but no, they killed all my winged lancers. No, and they stole the other trickster shard. Yeah, we did get most of their berserkers. Anyway, flee! Are you going to chase down my lord? No, you've actually backed off. Maybe. You have! Hooray! That's actually a victory in my book. They're not sieging Zoishank, and they didn't hunt down and kill my general. They did kill Bogdan of the Ice. Oh, he just joined us too. They're raiding at the moment, so... Oh, Bray herds. Right there. Conrock. Yay. Okay, let's move you down just to have a look in here. The spooky vampire count's land. Castle Tempelhof. There's Sturland with Albrecht Holt Anderson. There's their Elector Count. It's Castle Drakenhof, the capital of the vampire counts. Castle Tempelhof. Schwarzhafen, which is down here, is still owned by the von Carsteins, which is Vlad von Carstein's faction. Fine. What do I want to do with you now? Do I want to hold in Zoishank? Do they have anything which they could use to break down the walls with? You a siege build, a siege attacker. No. Wolfric a siege attacker? He is. That means he can attack a settlement and, like, attack it. He can lay siege and attack it in the same turn, because he can just knock the gates down. Large creatures can do that. Wolfric can do that as well, apparently. And there's his longship, Seafang. It's kind of like the Burning Skull in its effect. Causes massive magical damage. Small, forward-moving area of effect. Strong versus multiple units. It's a ship. It sails across the battlefield and hurts anything it flies over. Roll the berserkers, roll the berserkers. Kind of want to put you into the settlement. I think you'll be able to hold off against them. Yeah, sure. We're safe in here now. Get... Oh, whatever. We'll leave that for next time. I've been taking too long. And that last battle was... enjoyable. We lost it, but whatever. Exit to main menu. That will do it for tonight. Said that a few turns ago, but I do enjoy playing this game. And it's rather fun playing as Kislev and going against Norsca. Till if they end up with armies of mammoths and chariots, so I guess I'm going to call it there for tonight. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you'll join me again next time for more Warhammer 2 Total War, Kislev. I will stop the recording here.